curry muncher, blackie, and chim chom. These are just a few of the words that I've heard and even experienced over the course of this year at MRGS. And I don't want future generations to hear these absolute revolting words. Today I will be talking about why racism is bad. Racism is such a bad thing. It's easily avoidable, but people take a stupid leap of faith to shatter someone's feelings in seconds. For what some consider brings a small sense of happiness. A question I ask myself today is, why? Why does racism still exist today? There are no good sides to it, and it only brings harmful feelings towards everyone. My 3 points today are: racism tears relationships and people apart. Secondly, racism breaks the sense of diversity in this world. And lastly, racism is preventable. My first point is, racism tears people and relationships apart. Racism doesn't serve a purpose to help anyone. In fact, it just drifts people and tears relationships in seconds. A joke can turn into a lifelong regret of losing a close friend. I hate to say it, but racism happens every single day, even at our school. I'm sure everyone would love for their minds to stay intact, rather than it getting taken away day by day due to racism. According to health.gov.nz, 1 in 3 Māori, 1 in 3 Asian, and nearly 1 in 4 Pacific adults experience some form of racism during their life. These are some of the worst statistics to hear, but unfortunately it is the truth. Some racism can even be from your friends, and it can even tear meaningful relationships apart for what someone would have considered a joke. My second point is that racism breaks the sense of diversity in this world. Racism is a cruel action that can bring people down regarding their heritage and ancestry. Racism breaks every specialty that belongs to individuals of multiple different races. We need to embrace each other's cultures instead of putting down each other. A quote by Dr. Seuss is, "Why blend in when you were born to stand out?" This means that we're all different and diverse. These racist stereotypes and jokes can make someone feel bad to be who they are, and they really can't change where they come from. There's no point in talking ill about someone's race when you or the other person gains nothing out of it. This is why racism is truly the worst type of way you can hurt someone. My last point is, racism is preventable. I'm sure you've heard about multiple different protests regarding racism, like Black Lives Matter. I really do think about why racism still happens after thousands of these protests. Have these actually stopped racism? Racism has been around for centuries, so why is it still here today? Racism has really developed since its beginning, and it is still developing, and it can only be stopped with the help of you guys. It may sound like a big ask to some, but it really isn't if you think about it. After all this, I hope I've shown you how much a racist joke can impact someone's life. My 3 points were: racism tears relationships and people apart. Secondly, racism breaks the sense of diversity in this world. And lastly, racism is preventable. I'm sure all of you guys would have already thought that racism is a bad thing, and you might have thought that there wasn't much persuading required. But I've definitely heard racist jokes floating around the school. So why does it still happen? Solving this issue that has been around for an eternity can't be solved by just me. I need your help. All that I ask is that these racist jokes and stereotypes are stopped. If we as a school are able to do so, I'm sure another 8 billion people will be able to do so. Thank you.
Places are firstly Ben Afridi.